Move right on to public comment. Anyone who's in the audience and wishes to speak, now is your opportunity. I ask that you come up to the microphone here in the front, state your name and address for the record. Speakers will be limited to 2 minutes to deliver their comments. Kevin, to my left, will keep track of the time. At 1:40, at a minute 45, he'll raise his hand, and I ask you to wrap up your comments at that time. Those speaking are asked to conduct themselves in a respectful manner as they deliver their comments. Audience members are asked to refrain from reacting to comments, and the City Council will not respond directly to comments in this venue or take immediate action in response to them. So the floor is open to anyone who wishes to speak this evening. Please come up to the microphone, state your name and address, and your comment.
Good evening. Owatonna Public Utilities June 2024 newsletter had an excellent article on cybersecurity. In the media, I've ran across several in as many weeks videos and articles on cybersecurity and cyberterrorism. Saturday, June 1st, Owatonna People's Press had a front page article titled, County IT Discusses AI Cybersecurity Summit. All the recent media attention on cybersecurity and cyberterrorism reminded me of a PBS presentation, The Ethics of Cybersecurity. The CBS presentation by Admiral James Stavridis to St. Mary's University originally aired June 7, 2015. I rewatched this presentation and recommend everyone watch this presentation. After watching The Ethics of Cybersecurity in 2015, I wrote my U.S. senators, my U.S. representative, and the president with the recommendation we establish a cyber force like China, Russia, etc. already had. I'm going to follow up with letters to my U.S. congressional representatives and president to see where we're at with the cyber force and recommend everyone else do the same. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And for the record, that's Roger Wasik. Roger, you used the stamp?
Thank you.
Roger Wasik, 646.
646, he's fine, yeah.
Okay.
I was just going to mention that. I did remember the stamp.
Thank you, Roger. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
Known.
Melissa Zimmerman, 2525 Stony Creek Drive. I am frustrated. We are frustrated. This month marks the 2-year anniversary of the East Side Corridor. For 2 years, we have been asking for conversations. We have asked to be part of decisions that affect our families and our neighborhoods. It is our understanding that the next reports are back and still no conversations. We're frustrated because these conversations could have prevented the federal government from stepping in and addressing our concerns. This has cost us taxpayers hundreds of thousands of dollars to restart a project for reports that should have already been done. Money we work hard for that should have and was supposed to fund things that we needed. Instead, it was wasted on pushing projects through that didn't follow regulations. As city council members, you were elected and sworn to represent Owatonna residents, not farmers, not developers, not possible future residents, families like ours that are directly impacted. Families with small children, retired families with grandchildren, families whose net worth is their home, families that counted on you to prioritize their safety. It's a sad day when the federal government is easier to talk to than your local officials. It's no wonder the community feels like their voice doesn't matter and you'll do what you want anyway. 2 years of wasted taxpayer dollars on things we already knew. Emails unanswered, invites declined, concerns ignored. The only way for us to voice our concerns is this 2-minute platform, and it doesn't serve either of us well. Is it time for a conversation yet? You have my contact information. Anytime you'd like to grab a coffee and have a chat, we're more than willing. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Good evening, Matt Sennett, 2519 Stony Creek Drive. I'm here to talk about the East Side Corridor project this evening. The East Side Corridor project is the road that's being proposed on the east side of town, which is a county highway. The preferred alternative actually runs within a right-of-way that 50 foot has already been built on by houses. I'm trying to squeeze the remaining right-of-way with this road here. There are several number of action items from the city that are not addressed, and what is being published is the evaluation criteria for this project. This diagram from Owatonna's 2050 comprehensive plan illustrates development along the planned corridor on the east side. There is clear intent to utilize the east side corridor to promote growth in the city and consume farmland. This impact should have been noted in the evaluation criterion, was not. Farmland 2.2.3, to be specific. Referencing the same image from the Owatonna 2050 comprehensive plan, it should be noted that the desired growth along the corridor will actually have a significant impact on the noise level. That's 2.2.4. Each alternative will be addressed to assess its potential impact on noise levels in the surrounding area. That also was not included. Another item in the evaluation criteria that's inconsistent with the deals of this section is 2.3.1, which is consistency with local and long-term plans. Each alternative will undergo an assessment to determine its consistency with the Steele County 2040 plan and the City of Owatonna Transportation Plan. The 2006 development plan, as you'll see here, did not extend to 26th Street and didn't follow what was done in the 90s. We're asking you to please ensure a safe alternative on the east side of town for the East Side Corridor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Gail Jorgensen, 249 East Main Street here in Owatonna, corner of Main and Grove. I've been watching what's been happening for the last 2 years, as well as, my own issues. And I don't know if you guys really realize what's going on. It's not a road that's being built. It's a community. This North Country subdivision that was put in, 20 years ago or whatever? Now it's becoming a community. It's becoming a neighborhood because of this conflict. It's unfortunate it took a conflict for it to happen. But this is going to become a very strong neighborhood. These young people are going to be your future leaders because they're stepping up to the plate. But they're also the ones who are showing an example to the other communities, the other disenfranchised renters, the people who have color, that they can adamantly, tenaciously step up and say their piece. And it's unfortunate it has to go on and on and on, but that's the nature of the beast. And what you're really doing is building a community. It's just as messy as building a house with sweat equity where you get dirty and drop the hammer on a toe and get into a fight with your spouse. It's not a clean-cut thing. But I ask you to be part of the process and realize that the road is just an extra at this point. What you're building is a community. You're building a future for Owatonna with the people, not a high-rise or not another park. It's the people and the energy that'll go forth. Thanks.
Thank you. Anyone